Good morning. I chuckle because, well, let me just do the title. We are changing the world, and I do get it. My energy shifted quite a bit yesterday after I did my video. Conversations with my friends helped a lot as I realized that we are changing, and the world is changing too. A lot of us simply are not going to play the sick game of lying to ourselves and others about what we feel and experience. Correction here. We're not going to put on a happy face to mask our emotions, no matter how many people tell us we don't get it. I do get it. I'm not broken, simply honest. That's a threat for those still determined to play charades and pretend to be positive by trying to correct those they perceive as negative. That's not only part of the New Age bullshit, it's the highly touted conventional wisdom of the Matrix. Yes, put on a happy face is the way of the world, and it's false positive energy. We're expected to smile when we are being abused and just believe abuse is part of the plan. That's insane. I do get it. Telling the truth makes people living the lie uncomfortable. Do you get it? Oh, some of the advice that I was getting yesterday, and in other videos as well, really irritated me. I mean, it really irritated me. And then someone wrote to me and said, Ron, you get upset when we're trying to show you where you're off the path, where you're missing the mark. We're trying to give you good advice, Ron. And you get mad at us for trying to help you. And I laugh. Because what they're doing is they're coming from a self-righteous place that I see better than you do. I see how broken you are when you express anger or sadness or grief or disappointment. And I don't like that because I've learned how to cope. I've learned how to deal with that shit in my life. And I don't look back. I don't rehash stuff from the past. I live in the present. And I know it's all good. It's all good. And that twin flames and soulmates, their purpose is to push my buttons and to make me uncomfortable. But I get it, so I'm going to put on a happy face, and I'm not going to let the abusive behavior get to me. I'm not going to help the betrayal affect me. When somebody's telling me they love me and they're doing it for my own good, I'm only spanking you for your own good. I'm only beating you because you need to be beaten. I'm only doing it for your own good. You don't really feel bad. Don't cry. Big boys don't cry. Oh, you're acting just like a sissy, just like a girl. Ooh, ooh. Well, I do get it. We've tried to shut down our own emotions because that's what the world wants. Because that's how the world can continue to get away with its bullshit and its abuse and its lying and its cheating and its corruption. It can continue because we don't want to pay attention to what we've labeled negative. We're told to put on a happy face and wear a smile when we're hurting. Well, that's bullshit. I mean, give me a break. That's bullshit. What we feel is what we feel, and not expressing our emotions honestly and truthfully is what gives us disease and what keeps us in bondage and enslaved to a false paradigm that appears good. Now remember, Hitler was self-righteous. He wanted to purge Germany of all the bad stuff. Okay, he was imposing an external morality, which is what the world tries to do, to make people behave and stay in line and do what they're supposed to do and not break the taboos and not sacrifice the norms, because keeping people complacent is part of the agenda of the Matrix, which is why so much of the New Age doctrine is bullshit, because it induces a false positive. It creates an image rather than portraying life as it is actually experienced. We're not allowed to actually experience our emotions if they're, quote, negative, if they're judged. And so the people that live in that false paradigm think that that's their duty even and responsibility to go around and show the people that are expressing negativity that, don't you get it? Don't you get it? You're attracting more of what you don't want when you express that negative stuff, when you expose what's going on in the world, the corruption and the fraud and everything else. When you put the light on that, you're going to just get more of it. That's the lie of the Matrix. That's the New Age bullshit, and it's bullshit. I do get it. I'm getting it. That's what my friend in Canada was trying to say. Ron, you don't get it. It's what Bill Ballard was trying to say. Ron, you don't get it. You don't get it. Well, I do get it. And I'm not going to wear the freaking masks. I'm just simply not. Now, you can take it or leave it, but I'm not going to wear your masks. I'm not going to play that game. It's a sick game. And the people that are pretending to be positive and egoless and living in some fifth dimensional hyper reality are the ones that, from my perspective, don't get it. They're putting on false faces and wearing makeup to hide the depth of the depravity of our own soul that has entered this contest, if you will, this game of playing human life as spirit beings. We've entered this, and we think we're going to make it better by pretending it doesn't exist, by pretending there is no suffering, by turning our backs on the suffering and turning away from it and telling ourselves lies that if we address the way we really feel, we're only going to feel worse. No, I felt much better yesterday after I got that off my chest. I was feeling bad. Oh, it's funny because I have my dragon naturally speaking just just came on. I must have said wake up. and when I say wake up, that's a command to dragon naturally speaking to turn on. So I just had to turn it on. I want you to see, folks, love is about communication. It's about telling the truth. It's not about pretend feelings. It's not about wishy-washiness. Now, someone said yesterday that soulmate's purpose is to push our buttons, to irritate us. Okay, but I don't want one of them living with me. I don't want one of them in my life day by day. I don't want to share my day by day experience with someone whose role is to push my buttons. I know there are people that are going to push my buttons. And I know that in a real relationship, a real twin flame soulmate relationship of intimacy, that there's going to be mirrors provided and buttons pushed. But the purpose has to be done lovingly. It's not to come and try to make the other person get it. Because when you try to change somebody else, defenses automatically go up. And it'll happen to you. If I'm trying to change you and I'm attacking you personally, I'm not talking about sharing a video. I mean, that might push your buttons too, but it's impersonal. It's not directed toward anybody specifically. It's just energy put out there. And if the shoe fits, wear it. Life is a spaghetti fight. What's yours will stick to you. If it doesn't stick to you, don't worry about it. Let it go. But when somebody tries to correct you, or when somebody tries to correct me, my natural response is defense. It's just the way it is. I can't hear you because you can't see me. You can't see. All you see is the negative stuff you're trying to correct. You can't see the heart that beats with passion to want to make a better world, to want to live in honesty, to want to live in authenticity, and to be real with myself and with others. You're the one that's not getting it, not me. I'm getting it. I'm telling the truth. I'm sorry if that makes you uncomfortable, because that's what the world wants to have happen to you. They want you to be uncomfortable with someone telling the truth and expressing honest emotion. They want you to be uncomfortable with that because that keeps you complacent. It keeps you contained within the box of limitations. It doesn't allow you to play and balance the energies. It doesn't allow that. Because if you balance the energies, you get well. And you no longer have to wear masks. And you no longer have to pretend everything is wonderful when you're feeling like shit. You get what I'm saying? The world is changing. And I'm talking to people and I'm connecting with people that are working to create a system of honesty, of absolute value, of absolute honesty. Absolute. And that doesn't mean, honesty doesn't mean only telling the positive, airy-fairy stuff. It doesn't mean putting on a happy face. Telling the truth means telling the truth. This is what I've experienced. I have felt like a victim in this. That's the truth. I felt like the lady from Canada victimized me. Now, is that wrong for me to say that? I'm not playing the victim. I'm telling the truth. She took money from me for a purpose and did not return the money when she changed her mind on fulfilling what we had agreed upon. That is, meeting face to face. Well, I learned something from that. So it's a positive experience for me. I've learned that I don't want somebody in my life that wants to control me or wants to help me get it. Because there's nothing to get. There's only being and doing. And being and doing means that I'm going to tell the truth. It means that I'm not going to put on the happy face that I'm expected to put on when I'm feeling sad. I'm going to be authentic. I'm going to be genuine. I'm going to fly in the face of the world's pretense, of the world's acting, faking it till I make it. No, I'm going to be where I am. And I'm emboldened in that because as the day went on and I watched the dialogue of all the support that people were giving me and the few people that were trying to fix me, trying to make me get it, I got it. I got it. I was making the people that were trying to fix me very uncomfortable because their paradigm was being busted. And I'm an equal opportunity sacred cow kicker, and I'm going to bust the paradigms that don't work because I've tried them in my life and they don't work. I'd rather have someone wail and cry a bloody cry of authenticity than I would have them suppress what they're really feeling and saying, oh, I love you even when you're kicking me. Treat me like a fool. Treat me mean and cruel, but love me. We've got to get over that kind of stuff. We've been programmed that way, and it's time to change the program. It's time to turn on a different channel. All the channeled messages of trying to create positive energy still has you in negative energy because you're judging things as negative that aren't negative. They're just simply real. They're real, raw emotion. And if you can't handle it, then you've got a problem. You've got to get it. It's not about fixing other people that are expressing their truth. It's about you accepting and loving them where they are. And the reason you can't do that is because you don't love you when you're in that energy. You don't accept your own emotions. You don't accept your own feelings as valid. You invalidate yourself because you've been programmed in invalidation techniques. This is the truth. You can take it or leave it. It's up to you whether you want to get it or not. Be real is my advice to you. Be truthful, because the truth will set us all free. We are changing, and the world is changing as we do. Get it, okay? Namaste.